Hi, this is Mr. V, and in this video we're going to look at how to simplify a fraction using the second index law with the resulting fraction answer. So in the previous video we looked at how to deal with expressions that had coefficients and division signs, and our answer turned out pretty nicely. But when we have fractions, sometimes we're simply going to be left with things in the denominator, and I want to show you how we can deal with those. Let's start with our first equation here. Now, I like this form because instead of having to deal with signs and operations, we can just deal with it in blocks. So we'll deal with this block first, our number block. So 16 divided by 12. Well, I don't know about you, but that doesn't go into each other. But we can certainly simplify this. So if I just take a sidebar here and I look at all of the factors of 16. So we've got 16 times 1. We can multiply 4 by 4. We can multiply 8 by 2. And I think that's all of them. And let's look at all the factors of 12. So again, 12 times 1 is a factor. We've got 3 times 4 as a factor. And again, I believe that's all we can do there. Now, do we have any shared factors? Well, yeah, we do. We have 4 as a shared factor. So we can take away this factor of 4 for both to be left with 3 and 4. So 16 divided by our shared factor of 4 is going to be 4 divided by 12 divided by our shared factor of 4, we're going to be left with 3. Okay, it's using common denominators to reduce our fraction. Now extend my line. And now we're going to deal with the y to the power of 6 and y to the power of 5. Now again, we can use our second index law here, second index law. Or we can use simple definitions. I can see that y to the power of 6 is going to be the same as y to the power of 4 times y to the power of 1. And we've got y to the power of 5 on the bottom. And this works exactly the same way as using the rule. We can now get rid of these common factors of y to the power of 5 to just be left with y to the power of 1. And so the reduced form is going to be 4y divided by 3. We can remove the y. We don't have to write that. The 1, sorry. We don't have to write that anymore. That's exactly the same as using this. We could have gone y6 divided by y5. 6 minus 5 is y1. It turns out to be the same, but splitting up our powers like that can help us understand this next problem. In this next problem, we've got, again, similar situation. We've got coefficients, we've got variables and powers, but in this case, our power is going to be larger on the bottom. Can you see how we might deal with a power that's larger on the bottom? Let's work our way through. Equals. I can deal with this number part pretty simply. 8 divided by 4. I know that is 2. And we've got C3 on the top. And now I'm going to split this bottom index. Alright, so I want to make a C3. And then our other one is going to be C2. Okay, remember our first index law, if we add these, 3 plus 2 is 5, which is our original back here. But splitting up a fraction like this means I can now remove the common factors. So I'm going to have 2 divided by c squared. And that's not as easily seen using the second index law. So if we use the second index law, I'll take a sidebar here, c3 divided by c5, well, if we go 3 minus 5, it's going to be c to the negative 2. So when we have this negative 2, it means it goes on the bottom of our fraction. It goes into the denominator. So you can work this out using the rule or by splitting our fractions, but when the denominator's power is bigger, we're going to have a remainder in the bottom. Just make sure your aware of that one. And that is how we can simplify a fraction using the second index law with the fraction answer.